Welcome to the PTTS. Today's date is March 4th, 2023, Saturday. My name is Nang Hong Lam. Basically, last night I was at the point of just very hot and bothered and just couldn't take it anymore, so I have to make another video. Basically, like I was saying in my other video, that when I use this one, it's more like rehearsing of what I wanted, like a video that I want to make, or like some kind of note that I want to remember about and things like that. So I would use this handy cam. So anyway, I did that last night. Basically, I was just the whole hot and bothered started was because I felt that I'm in a situations where I'm gonna be very kind of like just having all these upsetting thoughts is gonna put me into like a situations where I'm gonna be like just kind of like a bomb about to explode, and then someone that I've been living with for many years of time, like in the same house, like my biological mother, Sok Nim Hui, or my biological sister, Bun Hong San, or just like any members of my family who I've been living in the same house for many years, and and then they just I'm at this point about to explode, and they just come up to me and like just say something that is very cruel and very mean to me, and then I felt that I would be like a bomb who would just explode because I was at the point about to explode. So kind of like in a way, that's why I have to make that video. I just didn't want just maybe they didn't intend it, or maybe it was just like they also are very in a stressful situation, or just so basically I make that video just to avoid that kind of situation. It's just like been living in the same house for many years of time, it's like, so I felt, so that's why last night I made that video. Basically I was just kind of like in a way like basically just wanted to continue from that, see it like a rehearsing. So basically last night video was just like rehearsing. So kind of like in a way, it was just like, basically I would just talk, kind of like emphasize on the accumulations of the 199 first places I have in the Pro Tour size tournament and my present positions. It was just emphasize on that instead of that, those things are achievements in my life, something that I could refer to as achievements in my life that become very degenerated and harmful to my life. So that was what I was emphasized on last night video. It was just kind of like in a way just to avoid that whole explode. Felt like maybe it just doesn't, kind of like in a way, that's why I have to make that video. It's just like, felt maybe it's all just add up, kind of like in a way it was just, so basically it's just gonna contain, well in this video kind of like, because last night just basically just very hot and bothered, kind of like in a way, that's why it just took that step and made that video, and just kind of basically just point very kind of like discreet about what's going on, it's like my accumulations of 199 first places in the Pro Tour tournament, and my present positions are becoming very degenerated and harmful to my life. Kind of like in a way, it was just like, I was just kind of emphasize on that, I should felt sorry for myself for all those many years of time been putting myself in the Pro Tour tournament, competing through all those many rounds. And it kind of like in a way, I thought the very most regrettable thing would be like, competing through all those many rounds and don't even get a chance to advance to the final round to compete for that first place. I thought that would be like the most regrettable thing that could happen to me. It's just like not even getting a chance to advance to the final to compete for that first place. Kind of like in a way, I thought that would be like the most regrettable things that could happen to me. It was like, so basically that's the last night. Basically that's what I was rehearsing kind of in that video. It's what I was talking about. Kind of like when I felt sorry for myself for those many years of time, year after year, has been putting myself into the Pro Tour / tournament, completing through all those tournament, Pro Tour / tournament rounds, and keep telling myself, that the most regrettable thing is not able to have that chance to advance to the final and compete for that first place. That should be something. That should be my concern that I should have. Okay, so basically that's last night video. That's what I was talking about. So anyway, in this video, basically I wanted to point out like the very important concepts is kind of like in a way I felt that I am being very cool and mean. It's kind of like in a way it's like, just think about it, what it takes to get those first places, advance through all those many rounds, all the way to the final rounds and compete for that first places, and just think, and I have accumulated 199 first places. Just think about all those times and competing through the tournament rounds. Just think about all those time spent to complete through all those tournament rounds. So in a way, it's just, I'm being very kind of like, in a way that's the argument. I'm being very cool and very mean. It's like, just think about it. Who able to kind of like in a way like why would someone do that? Like why not? Why? Just think about it. Just, you're being very mean and very cool. It's like, why would someone do that? Haven't you compete through enough Pro Tours as tournament rounds? Why would anyone want to do that? Kind of like in a way, it's just like, it's just kind of like in a way, it's just like, let's just say if it's just like, kind of like in a way, it's not. In a way, the conclusion would be, it's not it takes a lot of work and it's not easy to make argument against me. So if I, kind of like in a way, that would be, because I'm being very cool and very mean to not acknowledge that. It takes a lot, kind of like in a way, it takes a lot out of persons to try to make an argument against me. Just look at the amount of those many years of time I have to compete through tournament rounds to accumulate 199 first places. At the same time, I felt that, if I were to, that's basically, that's my break. I would say that's my break. I would, kind of like have a break and make that acknowledgement that it is not an easy thing to make arguments against me. That would be my break. The break I have, I would kind of like in a way would point that out. Kind of would point that out, that would make that acknowledgement that it is not. So kind of like in a way. So basically, that's the arguments against me, because I wouldn't make that kind of. I wouldn't take that kind of break and make that kind of acknowledgement that it is not easy to to make an argument against me because of having accumulation to 199 first places. So basically that is the argument that I am being very cruel and mean to not make that kind of acknowledgement that it is not easy to make arguments against me. So as for me, I would defend myself. At the same time, I would defend myself by saying that it's just that moment I took that break and, kind of like in a way have some kind of relief in my life, take that break and make that acknowledgement that it's not easy to make arguments against me. And once I do that, in that instant I did that, someone like a member of the family that I've been living with for many years of time gonna create some kind of problem to me that just kind of like in a way I finally let my guard down, like take that break and let my guard down, and that instant I let my guard down and take that break, my family member create problem to me. And kind of like in a way it's just like, been living for many years of time, why go to that kind of extent, to do that. And I would be very kind of like a bomb that just exploded. So it's kind of like, it's just like the whole thinking that, people that you've been living with family members for many years of time in the same house, you felt like, it's just some kind of relations have to create it through those many years of time living in the same house for many years of time. There's some kind of mutual relations have developed it through for that durations of many years of time. So basically I would defend myself by arguing back that instant I let my guard down and take that break. A family members who I've been living with for many years of time in the same house would create some kind of problem to my life, and I would explode. So that's why I'm avoiding this whole acknowledgement of, like the whole acknowledgement that it's not easy to make an argument against you. You have accumulated 199 first places, and you have the president positions. So basically that's the arguments. I am being very cruel and mean. It's just like, acknowledge. It's like, you have to make that acknowledgement that you accumulated 199 first places and you have the present position. It's not easy to make an argument against that. You have to make that kind of acknowledgement. You're being very mean and very cruel. So basically, I would defend myself by arguing back that instant I let my guard down and make that acknowledgement. A family member who I've been living with for many years of time in the same house would create some kind of problem to my life, and I would explode. So because of this situation, there's someone's gonna argue that, wait a minute, that person have not got a first place before, or that person have never been to the elections for the president positions before, and things like that. And then another person gonna argue that he doesn't make that kind of acknowledgement. Anyway, let's move on. So pretty much, well,